So welcome to this episode of The Rumble. My guests today are two brothers, both live abroad, one in the UK and the other in the United States. But it's their common passion for cinema that brought the two brothers together. Lots of other reasons bring brothers together. But in this case, it was because they wanted to make a movie. So Sharan and Vatsan, these are the two brothers. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much.
And I know that you're here to make a movie. In fact, you've completed a movie.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so that's quite a remarkable feat for people who two brothers, nevertheless, who come together just for this flick.
Yes.
What was your previous experience in filmmaking?
See, this is first of all, thanks for having us, Mr. Madhav. This is our first film. So, we are brothers, and I was living in US for about nearly 10 years, and he was in UK. So, we had planned to come back at the same year, and we wanted to do something, and that something we were sure.
It was still nebulous.
That something was, we knew that this is it. Okay.
Also, this was a clear thing.
Yes, this was a clear thing. It has to be having some purpose. So we knew that we didn't knew that exactly Ramanujan is the thing.
All right.
We knew that we are going to make a movie and we are going to do it something.
So right
purposeful.
from very young age, or this bug has bitten you, or this is something that happened when you were there?
No, it was there for longer period of time.
You guys ever discussed it among yourself?
A lot.
Yes.
We used to discuss a lot of scripts and a lot of stories. Actually,
all right.
That itching was always there.
Did you ever write any?
We do have small short stories.
Okay.
Which we keep discussing.
Did you reject each other's stories, or you advise you could improve?
Many other times he has rejected mine. I have rejected his.
So you agreed on Ramanujan?
Yes, agreed on Ramanujan because of our intentions. The purpose. It's like both of us are very, very opposite in nature, very opposite characters.
Okay.
But the basic foundation and frequency of thinking is the same.
All right.
So the moment this was it, we were in there.
The main thing is like we wanted to have some kind of a purpose in a movie. That should be some kind of a message or purpose.
All right.
That should be the main thing.
So the out and out commercial blockbuster was never your intention. Oh, a blockbuster, yes, but taking the usual fights and song sequence movies.
I would say our movie would have everything except for probably that kuttu part of what I was telling to you. Other than that, we do have everything. We do have romance. We do have subtle humor. We do have interesting. We do have suspense. So all these elements are there except for what I said, like kuttu part.
See, the term commercial itself, what does it mean? It means to make money. Right?
Yeah, attract an audience.
So in the industry or anywhere, the perspective changed. Commercial meaning that you have to have a fight and there should be a kuttu party.
Make some elements which will appeal.
Commercial means money, and we believe that we have a product, high quality product, which makes money. A content can be anything.
Okay. So to that extent, it is a commercial venture.
Yes.
No doubt about it. Not just out here to just throw your money away and learn something. We've got to make it work.
We are not that philanthropic in nature.
Okay.
So you just see the trailer and one would understand the high quality.
Another critical question for all the people who will watch people like you who make movies. Did you fund it yourself or did you have to borrow?
We had funded it ourselves and we borrowed.
So it's a regular venture.
Yes.
That's what happens in cinema.
Yes.
You put a certain amount up front and then the rest of it you
gather
as you go along.
Sources.
People see it. Yes. So is it like crowdfunding?
No. We did not do crowdfunding.
Yes.
We didn't want to go in that mode and ask people money and something.
It's not
like
crowdfunding.
You want to take it from somebody, so you might as well take it from friends.
But in crowdsourcing, the volume of people is a lot.
That's true.
So we just
But
went.
then the advantage is you're not answerable to nobody in crowd.
Correct. Exactly. That's true. But we wanted to have that pressure on ourselves.
Okay.
So if you don't have pressure, you will take it easy. There is always a chance that you can take it easy. Have pressure to deliver so that it can be given to the person whom you have borrowed.
That's true. So as a commitment to the people whom you borrowed money from, not really commitment, after all it was a borrowing. In that sense of the word, you have to give it back with their interest or whatever the thing is. But did you commit yourself to a certain time period that this movie must be finished in X amount of time, or that went along?
This is what we had planned for, and fortunately, yes, we are here. So we were planning around July or so.
Okay.
And we are here. So
the normal production assistants from Collywood, they're more or less like vultures. They're just waiting, looking for one animal which is staggering and going to fall down dead so that they can all swoop down and pluck its eyes out.
True.
So did you consciously avoid taking help from the usual kind of people who put movies together, or did you have people who helped you out, who knew the business?
We have those kind of people also, and it was a conscious decision of not going to the usual people.
Okay.
And for this movie, we did have a lot of good support from a lot of people in the industry. So thanks to all of them.
Okay.
So it was, first when we said that we are going to do this film Ramanujan, people were a little skeptic. Hey, are you sure? But once we talked and told about the intention,
and you conveyed your passion about it,
and this is not going to be as you're imagining. The name might suggest something that is going to boring is going to happen. The moment we were very clear in our mind what we are going to do and translated that to other people, like I'm conveying this to you, people immediately sense the positive vibration. So that was the brilliant thing. I met so many people in these 2 years, and initial skepticism was always there, but that skepticism did not turn into negativity. It was a positivity and a positive vibration.
You had a whole bunch of converts by the time you finish your spiel.
Yeah,
they were all followers.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a positive vibration. There is something called as vibration.
True.
So that positive vibration was everywhere.
And you could sense that as soon as you were talking to them. Reception was good.
Yes. And coincidentally or not, this picture is also about something, mystical in nature. That vibration in nature, which many people will not be knowing. They'll just think that, okay, this is a mathematical story or something
but there's more to it. There's more to it.
This is a story about a man, a passion. He had a passion. He just worked towards that passion and came out with flying colors. But there is a mystical element in the entire story.
So, folks, when you see the movie, it's just not a historical rendition of something that we all knew about. It is something a little more than that. Hopefully bring faith back in our own people. So when we come back, we'll find out how did they model this movie. They must have had a model on which they modeled it. So you see, we can find that out. So as I briefly mentioned before we took the last break, did you look at other movies that were made in the West to see what kind of historicals, when you make a historical, how well they make it in the West and how poorly we make it out here? So did you say in your mind, okay, I'm going to match the best that the world has done?
See what happened was when it came to our movie, there had to be a kind of a research that needs to be done. And as a part of it, like our director, who was also an IAS officer, he has done a fantastic research on the mathematician Ramanujan.
Yes.
How was his life in Cambridge and how was his life in Kumbakonam? So all those research was done by him. Not only with regard to our director, even the costume designer, Shakuntala Rajshekhar.
Yes, that's critical.
She did a phenomenal job on researching on the costumes of that period.
Yeah, it's got to reflect correctly.
Absolutely.
Old-time cars, all
exactly.
that.
So precisely what I'm trying to say is like we were fully focused on Ramanujan's story rather than we looking at, how does a Hollywood movie do their research. We are fully focused on Ramanujan, and we did a brilliant research on his life.
Now, the reason why I'm asking is if you look at the old Veerapandya Kattabomman, for example, of course, we are very proud of that movie because it was done by Shivaji Ganesan and all that, but it was actually almost like a parody. The white men looked like, caricatures of white men. And we had the hero who had long speeches and spiels, and all that was put us off today. Those days might have been happy. So today when you make a movie, far more critical people. So
in that regard, we were conscious of one thing, that quality should be there. Okay?
Yes.
So let me tell you a small example, a small story with respect to quality. So normally if we are going to do this movie, we would have easily put, this is a story which takes back 120 years back. And nobody, from our research, we found that everybody were bald. Tonsured. They had a tonsured head.
That's right.
And half kind of, it just gets in only till here.
Correct.
So, we could have easily put in wigs, okay, and cheap wigs, and we could have finished it off easily. Now, we were like, okay, we are going to Kumbakonam, we are going to take at least 1% of the population, we are going to shave their heads off.
So it's got to be genuine boss guys who shave the hair off.
So we went there, and a funny incident was...
He ran a big campaign over there.
I did a big campaigning for, getting people's heads shaved off.
Voluntarily come forward.
Yes, come forward. This is for your Ramanujan. And I went to Ramanujan's college where he studied, Kumbakonam Arts College.
Okay.
And I was talking, a pep talk for 10 minutes.
Did they respond to it?
Yes. I'll tell you what happened was, I was just on and on for 10 minutes. Hey guys, you're doing for your person this, that.
The glory of our country.
Yeah, everything. And not even one person came forward. I was like, what the hell is happening?
I know.
And one person silently came forward and told that, sir, we are not from Kumbakonam. We were just walking in the road and people had got us inside. So we were like, I had to deliver speeches, think like a leader and then inspire them. And we made sure that we got at least 500 people tonsured.
So, and they came forward voluntarily?
Yes. It was just, we wanted one person so that we knew from one person the chain would start.
Will start.
First person, he made a lot of difference.
So some people were like, sir, if I do this, then I have a girlfriend in Kumbakonam. My girlfriend will not see for 2 months. And I was like, dude, I'm just asking for your hair.
Yeah.
And that will come after 2 months. Please.
It'll grow back again.
Yeah, it'll grow back again. But it all happened kind of a mix. Some people were voluntary coming for free, but some people we had to pay money. So we were sure that we wouldn't put artificial wigs. So we had shaved.
So whether you had to pay it or not, you made sure it was right.
Yes, and in that regard, Mr. Y.G. Mahindra sir told,
he's acted as a Brahmin gentleman in so many movies. So he'd be quite happy to do it.
So yeah, he told that, sir, in every movie, the producer gets tonsured, but you're the only producer who has made everyone tonsured.
The actors tonsured.
Actors tonsured.
So did you have people doing research on the period and the props of those era? Did you, in India we are notorious for not maintaining anything of our past. You use it, break it, throw it away. So how did you get props?
Yeah, it's like luckily we have a very good team with us. All of the whole crew is like almost national award winners. So they know what they have to do. And our art director is P. Krishnamurthy, and he has done a lot of movie, and he has also done
debut of Manoj Night Shyamalan's movie.
Yes. His Hollywood movies.
Hollywood movie. Okay. He has done Night Shyamalan's. That's his first movie.
Okay.
And I forgot the name.
So he did the art for that.
Yes.
He did the art for that. So in that regard, and our director is an IAS officer.
Yeah,
so you don't even ask. Yeah. No, I have to ask.
And his specialty is art film. I mean, that kind of film.
Yes. So researching and making sure, especially when you're doing a biopic, people are always there to criticize. Hey, this was not like that.
So did you have any emphasis on the romance side of Ramanujan's life? Because that is so much a part of Indian cinema making. Filmmaking is, we need romance. Even if it is Hitler, we'd make him sing a song, at least one song in our Indian production of Hitler. Yes. So did you have any music in dance? I know, not Kuttu, but...
Yes, sure. See, Ramanujan is also a human being.
Yes.
So he will have his own whatever love thoughts or whatever it is.
Correct.
He had a wife. And so we had portrayed all that in a very subtle way, not on your face.
Yes, because you wouldn't find them running around the trees.
Yeah, you won't find them running around the trees, but he definitely runs around mathematical books.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have subtly woven the romantic parts.
So is this mathematical side of his life, which is the main part of it, is that explained in any way? Is the film also to do with mathematics, or that's not there?
No, it talks more on his personal side, more on his personal life. What you can see in this movie is like if a person has a passion, if he keeps persuading his passion, one day he's going to be successful. And that's a very important message that we are giving in this movie, but in a very subtle and in a very different way. That's the whole message.
So the success is one part of it, but I guess the message would be that if you're passionate about anything,
regardless
of whether it's good, bad, you go for it.
It can be anything. A person who's interested in biology, a poet, if you just have passion and work towards it, hard work, you are bound to come out with flying colors. Only that initial sustenance of the challenge, the first 4 years,
and it helps
5
if
years.
You're a person with minimal requirements like Ramanujan would have been.
Yes.
So that would have been easy. So when we come back, there's one big huge chunk of the movie that was shot abroad. So we'll talk about that. So briefly, as I mentioned before we went for the break, this part about shooting in Britain, was it vastly different from shooting in India?
I would say shooting in Cambridge was a lot more systematic and it was well organized, because there you need to write things on paper. You need to give it as a kind of a document. So everything was given in advance, and there was a lot of planning was done. But in India, yes, we do. It happens at the last minute. But a lot more is not that much planned. So that's a wide difference.
Because I recently interviewed a young actress, and I said, that I used to hear that people write scripts on the set, and they keep writing as they go along, and isn't that lead to chaos? And don't you have an organized script? And she said something very interesting, which she says, some of the madness that happens on a set just before the director calls for action, when he's also figuring out some last things in his brain, that frantic time brings out some truly different ideas, which cannot be planned well in advance, because it all happens at that point. So a certain spontaneity will happen when you have a director who's
absolutely
thinking, And what made you stick to, or rather go back to film for shooting? Celluloid, yeah.
See, we consulted, from the cinematographer and the director's point of view, they had stuck to films because from their perspectives, film still has that golden
the edge on
the age and whatever happened. So it's like when you see an Eastman color, even now, even though it is an old film of 30 years back, that golden royal thing is always there. So from that leap of faith, we thought that we took the words of the cinematographer, who is the secretary.
And you're not taking any shortcuts, so why take a shortcut on this?
Yes. So people said that it still has its, that beautiful.
So the processing and all that, where was it done?
Prasad Labs.
They still do it. They still do it. It's not that like they say it's all gone and they chucked all the machines out.
No. They still
film was freely available.
But my last thing, I got to know that process of getting out of celluloid is
we heard our movie was the last one,
something like a last or something like that.
It's irreversible now.
But of course, digital has its own advantage of you taking a shot and then you can delete it and then you can
multiple
do it again.
takes, you don't have to store.
But again, I'll tell you one advantage of going celluloid or not going for digital. It's like today digital cameras are there. So in your house, in your party, you shoot thousands of pictures.
Nothing has any value.
No, not value in the sense. Do you ever put it on an album? We go on a holiday.
Correct.
Right? You take 200, 300 pictures.
Then you just spend equal time deleting it.
Do you print it out? So only when a next party comes, you just realize I have to transfer this in a different computer. So you never take a printout.
That's true.
Maybe some comparison.
Are you getting any kind of discounts or something other from the government for this movie that you're making, because it's a historical character from Tamil Nadu? Is there any support from government?
We did get our tax exemption.
But that anybody would get.
Yeah.
If you have a movie with a Tamil name.
But see, at this point in time, we have got a lot of encouragement in the form of, for example, getting permission in temples. So that is something, they have their own process of, some temples you cannot go inside, you cannot go to the shrine. So all these processes, I should thank, the state government that things happen fast. Things happen fast, unbelievably fast. Can you imagine things happening fast in government?
How did it compare with your shoot process in the UK? Was it equally fast there?
It was equally fast. There, the thing, even here it happened fast. The only thing is, they are much more planned there and we are not planned here. That is the only difference.
Very ad hoc things happen.
It's like, you have to be here, be prepared for the uncertain. Uncertainty is the only certain thing here.
That's the only thing that.
So here we got good support from the railways, we got good support from Port Trust of India.
So what about the target audience? Who did you aim this movie at? I know you guys did it out of passion, but who exactly?
This is for all, especially for the youngsters and for for the youngsters and for all. That's what I would say, because
I think you should hold a show just for the teachers.
No, that's true. No, most importantly, I would say for youngsters and their parents.
Parents, yes.
Because we have a subtle message in the picture that, whatever passion you have, it can be a 90-year-old person, we have some Singh in Canada running for, marathon or something like that.
Yes.
So you have passion, and passion does not have any age. Have a passion, work towards it, and you are bound to get success. So you can get some different passion at the age of 85, or you can have a passion at 10 years old also. It is for anybody and everybody.
Did you give it to any satellite channel who will therefore block it from distribution as DVDs or whatever?
Not as of yet. Not as of yet.
Do you intend to?
Yes.
So that's a major problem in this country.
Yes.
Once a satellite channel takes it, then for 2-3 years you are blocked and all the revenue is taken by pirates.
Yes. So we are just waiting for the release. So the satellite thing will happen, anywhere closer to release or after the release. So that, we have that momentum.
After the release, the problem for you guys as a producer is that the fate of the movie is known. Then the buyer will either hedge his bets or he'll have to up it because he says the reception has been very good for the movie.
No, agreeable.
So it might change.
Agreeable.
So, yeah.
But, we are gaining that momentum, that hype. So I can always, rather than playing safe, I know that our product is good. And if that hype is created during this time, just moments before release, people will come to you.
Yeah, like what happened to Kamala Hassan when he did his movie, Viswarupam. He got into trouble with all the distributors. He sold the movie and he wanted to come via home, what do you call that? DTH, direct to home. And they all blocked it and then there was hangama all over the place. So half the problems are because when you give it away to satellite channel, then they block you. They're right in their own way because they need to recover their cost. So this whole business of looking at television channels as a source of money is probably the cause of much of the downfall of cinema.
No, there is actually, if you see the other side of it, currently, how many people go to theaters? The theater going habit has reduced drastically when you compare it some 20 years back or 25 years back. But that is because of satellites, satellite TV, different TV channels coming in. So they have
people say, why bother going to theatre? It will come on the street corner and I'll get it.
It has its own advantages and disadvantages also, both.
But at least this is the kind of movie that might appeal greatly in Europe too, in UK to the English people.
Yes.
It's made in English too, partly.
Yes, we have made 2 different movies. One is in English and one is in Tamil.
So even the Tamil parts are in English?
Yes. It is entirely an English movie.
So we have 2 movies.
How it happened is, for example, how we made 2 movies are, if there is a dialogue, hey, okay, it is cut it's the same thing. Hey, hi, how are you? So we had shot it twice, one in English and one in Tamil.
So they are 2 completely different. So that will work in the rest of India too.
Yes.
Because only here you will hear hardcore Tamil people understanding. Yes. Maybe Kerala also, but the rest of the country, the English movie will end up doing better, like Gandhi did. It was a Hindi version and an English version.
Yes, absolutely.
So you the whole experience has been worth it. You think you'll come back for more?
Yes, it's been a fantastic journey, I would say, and we are just waiting for the Tamil to get released, and after that is done.
So what's the date of release?
11th of July.
11th of July.
11th of July.
Okay, guys, just keep that, mark it in your, in your phone. I guess everything's marked in the phone these days, not on any book or on the calendar. There are no calendars also. So that's it, 11th of July. Watch out for Ramanujan, and I hope you guys go and crack that big number. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And talking. It's lovely to have you people making serious movies like this. We only see kuttu songs otherwise.
Thanks for inviting, and please come and celebrate the genius.
Yes, absolutely.